Hey YouTube, it's Jaden. It's 7:46 in the morning. Just woke up not too long ago. Was on TikTok, um, and that's the reason why I'm actually making this video. It's because I'm getting rather pissed off by this man who makes these TikTok videos that I wouldn't say I was a fan of him, but it's like every now and then when it would show up on my feed, I wouldn't mind to watch him. Um, and I'm pissed off because our political views are actually really similar. But he's white, and that plays a very crucial role in why it's not really working for him. So, what I'm trying to get at is that his name is like Moschino, Machino. I don't know how to pronounce it. Moschino Dorito, something Italian. Um, he's like this big ginger. Uh, excuse me. Again, I just woke up. Voice is very gruff in the morning. But yeah, he's like this pretty big ginger guy. And again, every now and then when his videos would show up on my feed, they'd be rather funny in terms of like white humor. Um, I'm not gonna lie, like white humor is very underrated. I know that as of late, I've been kind of picking on white people. Actually, for the last several years, I've been kind of expressing my disdain for white people. But if white people do anything well, it's their dry humor, um, the dry humor, the humor where they like pick on themselves. I forget what that's called. Um, Observational humor. I do think that black people do observational humor better, as we do have Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor. Well, he passed away. May he rest in peace. But we still do have Eddie Murphy. But Bill Burr is a great. Bill Burr has. My dad and I, we still talk about this one Bill Burr act where he was talking about how he was dating this black girl, and the black girl showed him what lotion was, and he never used lotion, so he was like, he said, he said like the black girl was scratching on his arm, and like obviously I can't do it the way that he does it because I'm not a comedian, but like when the girl was scratching on his arm, like he said like dust was flying off his arm because he never put lotion on or something like that. And the first time that I heard that, I was dying for like 30 minutes because it's like obviously as a black man, you've always used lotion, but like hearing a white person say they don't know what lotion is up until like 27 is like that's hilarious. Anyways, that's besides the point. Um, Yeah, Bill Burr is hilarious. He's probably like in my top three comedians. No, top five. Probably have shoot. Probably have Richard Pryor. I had Chappelle too, but he's been pretty transphobic. So, uh, with his earlier work, if I'm counting Chappelle and his earlier work, I'd put him at three then, and I'd put Eddie at two. Actually, no, that's a lie. I'd probably put Eddie at two. I put Bill Burr at three, and then Chappelle at four. Just counting his earlier work, because yeah, all his newest stuff is like really transphobic, and pretty like, if anything, he's just like, you can tell that like he got his money up and like, he's not really like making comedy for black people anymore. Um, I'm not making videos about comedians, though. This is not the point of this video. So anyways, about the, I'm so sorry, about the Moschino Dorito guy. Yeah, so his political views are actually really similar to mine. And I didn't know that up until the one video that I came across couple, maybe it's been like a month now, because he's been on like this, he's been like having this meltdown. There's something in my eye and it's killing me. Give me a second. Ow. Okay, I think it's better now. So anyways, so actually it wasn't a month ago. This was a couple weeks ago. Goodness gracious. When Miss Sonia Massey was murdered. And coincidentally, Kamala Harris was running for president now. Came across one of his videos on TikTok, and it was crazy because, again, he considers himself pretty progressive. I considered him to be pretty progressive, but he kind of made a video like in like not making fun of the death of Sonia Massey, but like it wasn't a good video, right? Like essentially what the video was like like us as voters would be voting for a cop, which would be, well, I guess, Kamala Harris was once a cop. We'd be voting for a cop who was Kamala Harris once we just saw a video of a cop killing a black woman, which was Sonia Massey. And he didn't even say her name. And so the thing is, he made that video very quick after the death of Sonia Massey as a white man. And there's a lot of tension there, because it's like, one, this isn't really your place to talk about any of this. You're not the guy, as a white man, as a white creator who is kind of affluent. It's not really your place to talk about the death of a black woman. The another black woman running for president and calling her a cop, right? Like, this isn't like, you're not like, this isn't really grounds for you to make a video on, but he still made a video on it and kind of was like 10 toes on it. And like all throughout the comment section, like all the white comments would be like, yeah, Kamala's a cop, right? But then like there was a lot of black comments being like, dog, like this one didn't hit the way that you thought it would. And yeah, like I felt away, not really because of like the Kamala cop thing, but it was like, dog, like really the whole thing about a cop killing a black woman, like that's not okay, so I felt away, obviously. And so a couple days go by or whatever, and on TikTok, like TikTok is a huge app, right? So when one person makes a mistake, everybody hounds on that. They do like, what is it called, stitches, or like they make videos on that video. So I saw like multiple black creators make stitches on that video where they're like calling him out, and then they have every right to do that. And from those stitches is usually when patient zero realizes his mistakes and then makes an apology, if that makes sense, right? Like, okay, I was the root of the problem. People are explaining what the problem is. Okay, now I should apologize, right? So people like I said, people made the stitches on the apps, and people, they called him out for why he was wrong. But what the dude did next, like, blew my mind. He then referred as to how we could be better revolutionaries by reading, and I kid you not, he pulled out black written books that he didn't even read. Like, they were books that, like, they were like fresh out the Amazon box. Like, I was reading the comments, and they were like real readers know that he never even touched the book. Like, he made videos where it was just like, well, if you really want to know how to, it was like something along the lines of, like, if you really want to learn if you want to learn more about being a revolutionary or whatever, like, you should pick up this book and read whatever. And it was like, it was books written by, like, black men or women. And it was like, it just felt demeaning, because it was like, again, like, number one, you're not apologizing. You're not, like, you're not even 10 toes. Like, you're 10 toes and 10 fingers down now. And now, like, you're referring us to black literature? Like, that's crazy. I've never seen that before. Personally speaking, I've never seen that. Like, it's almost like he knew that he did something wrong and chose to, I mean, like I said, double down on it, right? And so, again, more days go by, more people are, like, explaining, like, okay, now he's referring to black literature. This guy is really out of his mind, stuff like that. And low-key, I still kind of have, like, hope that he's gonna, like, apologize. And, it's not even days, it's, like, weeks go by now, and here I am now. I wake up, I'm on TikTok. It's a shame that's, like, the first thing I do. I'm on TikTok, and the first thing I see is one of his videos, and he's explaining, he's trying to teach us what being a revolutionary means, and like, why people in Gaza are revolting, why people in Congo, I apologize, because I don't know enough, but there's people, like, all around the world that are revolting. Meanwhile, he's making a video in the suburbs, right, or wherever he lives, and again, it feels so out of place because of what I've learned myself. And it makes me, like, question, like, is this how I sounded when I was first, like, getting into this whole situation of, considering myself like a a revolutionary, or like a communist or whatever, right? Because, clearly this guy is, he's more of a theory bro than he is, like, an actual proletariat. And I hate to be the guy that says, like, I read something, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be like him and, like, only say that, like, you should read. I just so happened to read something that really stuck with me, like, forever. Forever being, like, a year and a half, ever since I've, like, made this, 180. But, like, I read something that said there's two types of socialists or communists, or, there's two types of left-leaning individuals, or, like, super left-leaning, because you don't just want to be like a Democrat. And there's, like, the theoreticians, and there's the proletariats, right? The theoreticians being the people that, just read, right? They read about the theory of what it is to be a communist, or what it is to be a socialist, or an anarchist, or whatever it is, whatever the left party is that you are trying to associate yourself with. And they, like I said, the theory guys are like the people that just know about it, but they don't experience it, right? They can know about it, but they live a very lavish life, right? Meanwhile, the proletariat are the people that may not know exactly what it is to be a communist or a socialist or whatever, but they live that, right? Like, they are the working class. They are like a proletariat. The actual meaning is it's the working class, right? So, they don't know the theory behind it, but they live that, right? They experience that. They are more likely to be the people that unionize. They are more likely to be the people that revolt because they actually live that life. And like I said, like, the more, like, when I first read that, like, it blew my mind because it was like, man, like, I'm clearly, like, at the time, like, I was clearly, a theory guy, right? Like, I was just reading, right? I wasn't really experiencing. And to this day, like, I'm not experiencing a lot of what the working class is experiencing, you know? But I also don't shame others for, like, not knowing enough theory, right? Because number one, I don't know enough theory, but for the theory that I do know, I don't shame others for not knowing that, right? Like, I don't want to be that guy that I'm watching now. Like, that's what he is. And that's scary because that's exactly how people shy away from communism. That's exactly how people shy away from socialism. It's because you shame them for not being smart enough in it, right? Like, you need to, like, ease them into it, right? So I say all this to be like, essentially, it's a little, it's very sad to see that, like, especially on TikTok, which is a pretty progressive app, like, very progressive. Well, it's because, honestly, Gen Y and Gen Z, like, we are a very progressive people. I think, I personally believe that Gen X was, like, only progressive because they kind of had to be, but, like, we chose to be progressive because we've kind of lived in it. Well, then I guess maybe you can make the case that we kind of had to be as well, but either way, I don't know, it's just a sad thing to see, but at the same time, it's like, it's very deserved because, as a white creator, as a white person, as a white man, you have a lot of privilege. And you need to put that privilege, especially when you have a lot of followers. You have, you have a responsibility, and a responsibility to definitely apologize when a black person dies to a cop, right? And he still didn't do that. And instead he doubled down. Like, that's incredibly egregious, and I'm here to see him melt down. Like, I'm very here. I'm gonna be here, right? Uh, in the front, I have tickets for it to see him melt down. So, I don't know, just some thoughts. I think I'm gonna go back to sleep though, because my eye is still hurting. So, just some thoughts. Just hit 8 o'clock though. So, see y'all when I see y'all.